There's a quiet frustration a lot of people carry but rarely talk about. You sit down to focus, and within minutes your hand reaches for your phone. Not because you need it, not because something urgent happened, but because your mind feels restless without movement, without noise, without something new flashing in front of you.
You scroll, hoping to feel better, and somehow feel worse. More scattered, more tired, less present. And at some point, you start to wonder if something is wrong with you. But what if the problem isn't your willpower? What if it's not discipline you're missing, but silence? We live in a world where attention is constantly pulled apart. Notifications, feeds, short videos, endless updates. Even moments that used to belong to us, waiting, walking, sitting, are now filled instantly. There's no pause anymore, no mental stillness. And because of that, focus feels harder than it ever has. Here's the bold truth most people don't want to hear. If your mind never rests, it eventually forgets how to think clearly. That's not a modern insight, that's ancient wisdom. More than 2,000 years ago, a Stoic philosopher named Seneca warned about this exact problem. He didn't have screens, he didn't have social media, but he understood something timeless about the human mind. When attention is constantly divided, the soul weakens. Seneca once wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." And when you hear that today, it lands differently, because we are everywhere. In group chats, in comment sections, in news cycles, in notifications. Our bodies are in one place, but our minds are scattered across dozens of digital spaces. Stoicism was never about rejecting the world. It was about refusing to be owned by it. Seneca believed that real freedom came from controlling your inner life, not escaping your outer one. He practiced stepping away from noise on purpose, not to relax, not to feel good, but to strengthen the mind. And modern psychology now confirms what Stoics understood intuitively. Constant screen use trains the brain to seek novelty. Every scroll releases a small hit of dopamine. Over time, your baseline tolerance changes. Focus feels uncomfortable. Silence feels heavy. Boredom feels unbearable. Not because something is wrong with you, but because your brain has adapted to constant stimulation. Neuroscience shows that attention is a muscle. When it's constantly interrupted, it weakens. When it's allowed to rest and recover, it sharpens. That's why this isn't about quitting technology forever. It's about breaking the cycle long enough for your mind to reset. This is where the Seneca Scroll challenge begins. 7 days. Not to punish yourself, not to prove anything, but to observe what happens when you remove constant digital input and allow your mind to breathe again. The first day will feel strange, maybe even uncomfortable. You'll reach for your phone without thinking. You'll feel an urge to fill the silence. You might feel bored, restless, or slightly anxious. That's not failure. That's awareness. Seneca believed discomfort was a teacher. When we avoid discomfort, we avoid growth. But when we sit with it, we learn what controls us. Modern behavioral science calls this withdrawal. When dopamine-driven habits are interrupted, the brain resists. It wants the reward it's used to. But this phase doesn't last. After a few days, something subtle begins to change. Your thoughts slow down. Your attention steadies. You stop reacting instantly to every impulse. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But power over the mind doesn't come from force. It comes from space. When the noise fades, clarity has room to return. One of the most powerful things you can do during this challenge is protect your mornings. The first hour after waking sets the tone for your entire day. If you immediately expose your mind to screens, messages, and news, you begin the day reactive. Seneca warned against starting the day scattered. Begin in stillness, and the rest of the day follows. No phone, no scrolling, just presence. A walk, a journal, quiet thought. Another practice is single task focus, one thing at a time. No background videos, no multitasking. Even ordinary activities become grounding when done fully. The Stoics believed mastery of attention in small moments builds strength in larger ones. Then there's boredom. Real boredom. Not scrolling boredom. Silence boredom. This is where most people struggle. But boredom isn't emptiness. It's recovery. Research shows boredom restores creativity and emotional regulation. Seneca believed the mind needed idle moments to process life. And at night, instead of falling asleep to screens, reflect. Seneca practiced daily reflection. What went well? What didn't? What could improve? This builds self-discipline without self-judgment. Sleep becomes deeper because the mind isn't overstimulated. By the end of 7 days, you won't feel like a different person. You'll feel like yourself again. More grounded, less reactive, more present. This is not a digital detox for productivity. It's a Stoic exercise in reclaiming attention. Because the real danger isn't screens. It's losing control of your own mind. Seneca warned that life is long enough if we use it wisely, but most people lose it in fragments. Notification by notification, scroll by scroll. This challenge isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. So now the question isn't whether you'll quit screens. It's whether you're willing to sit with yourself long enough to hear your own thoughts again. And as you begin, or even just consider this challenge, ask yourself, which phrase will you try first?